I love this connection between Saturn and Venus, really, because if we are authentic, if we're living, if we're true to ourselves and we are honest about our feelings, then Saturn can really help us ground that love in. We're going to look at our values, our self-worth, what do we believe we deserve, but also commitment. The North Node plays a role here as well. And the North Node wants you to commit to your future. The North Node in Pisces is asking us to surrender, right? That's the top theme for the North Node, together with committing to your future, right? And Saturn says, we really are looking at commitment. And Venus says, but don't forget your value. What's your value? What do you believe you're worth? What do you believe you deserve for yourself in this lifetime? Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Hello, my loves, welcome back. We need to talk about this month, and particularly about, I don't know, I can't even say one transit because they are all intertwined. We're going to focus on the transit between Saturn and Venus. And I will talk about it for each rising sign, but we need to remember that Mercury plays a role here as well, and the North Node. And all of them are going to be conjunct, more or less exact, from about today. I'm filming this video on the 5th of April. Is that true? Oh, actually it's the 6th of April. And they're going to be conjunct from now on until the end of the month. And the interesting thing here is that Venus first is conjunct Saturn in retrograde, and then when she goes direct, she will conjunct Saturn again. In this video, I'm going to give you the overview, a little overview, and then I'm going to talk about everyone that has Aries or Aries rising to Virgo rising. And then tomorrow, I'll give you the other video, tomorrow or Tuesday, I don't know yet, Libra rising to Pisces rising. When I say rising, so I want you, if you listen to this video, I want you to listen to this for your rising sign first, but then also listen to it for your sun sign, because you get a much stronger and deeper understanding, a more well-rounded understanding of what this means for your sign and your life. It's going to be a profound time, and particularly when it comes to the themes of commitment, responsibility, self-worth, boundaries, and long-term success and value. And for many of us, this may relate to relationships, even if this doesn't happen in your 5th or 7th house. Relationships, all kinds of relationships, right? Romantic relationships, relationships with family, relationships with your friends, relationship with the boss, your colleagues, all of it will play a role here. And again, we're going to look at our values, our self-worth, what do we believe we deserve, but also commitment. The North Node plays a role here as well. And the North Node wants you to commit to your future. The North Node in Pisces is asking us to surrender, right? That's the top theme for the North Node, together with committing to your future. Right? And Saturn says, we really are looking at commitment. And Venus says, but don't forget your value. What's your value? What do you believe you're worth? What do you believe you deserve for yourself in this lifetime? Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So when we look at it from the perspective of the external world is just a mirror. It's mirroring and reflects what you hold inside of you. So the outside world is dead, because it's been created. You created it already. So if you don't like what you see, you got to create something new inside of you to reflect on the outside. I know we are not really taught that in this world, right? The way we function in this society or in this world, like this earthy world, is like, okay, if you want something, you got to work hard for it. So that's how we in astrology talk about Saturn. Saturn is like committing to something and working hard for it. But what if that quote unquote working hard is inside? Working quote unquote hard on yourself, not being hard to yourself, but making sure you realign yourself in a way that then reflects on the outside. That doesn't mean that you don't take action. Of course, we live in an action-oriented world. Of course, it's a physical world, we take action, but do you take action from a place of, I want this, so when I get this, I will feel worthy? Or do you take action from the place of, I feel worthy, Venus, right? Worth and value, I feel worthy, and that's why I act in this way. That's why I take inspired action. So let's get back to this particular transit. Saturn, Venus, North Node. Mercury is also in the mix. I think it's not going to be a linear thing. It's not going to be a straight road and, you know, everything is going to fall into place. I think there's going to be a bit of this, because again, the first time Venus meets Saturn is going to be while she's still in retrograde, the 7th of April. That's when we have the first exact conjunction between Saturn and Venus, and the node is there as well, right? The node is saying, okay, where are we going? Where are we going? What's your true north? Where are you heading? Are you heading south or are you heading north? Or you're somewhere in the middle and getting lost? Where are you? It's not going to be an easy energy. It's not going to feel cozy. There might be some cozy moments where you like also really feel safe. But again, that will only happen if you show up authentically, truthfully, and if you're true with yourself and then also with the other, what you truly want. You're not going to tell someone what they want to hear, because then that will just go south, you know, because you want to hold on to something. You're going to tell them what they want to hear. No, you're going to tell them what is true for you. And if it's not true for them, then that is beautiful for both of you, because then you can move forward from an authentic place, both of you. You know, maybe in separate ways, but you get to move forward. Again, this is really all about authenticity. Venus went through a long journey. Her retrograde cycle was an intense one, depending on, again, where it fell in your chart. It was an intense cycle. And now, what has she learned? What have you learned about your authenticity? About what you truly desire, what you want to embody now. Maybe you're not embodying it yet, but what you're working on internally, what you want to embody, and what then will also reflect on the outside. But let's get into the signs. Let's start with Aries rising. I have a blog post on this as well. I'm gonna, if I don't forget, I always forget. I always say like, I'm going to link the blog post, and then I forget to link the blog post. But I will link the blog post. That will give you some key points for your rising sign, so you can check that if you want. And then if you have obviously some questions about your particular transit, for your particular situation, you can always ask in the comment section below. Aries, the themes for you are going to be subconscious patterns, hidden love, and also spiritual solitude. For you, the themes of love might feel intensely spiritual, but also hidden and kind of private, and something that you might be worried about sharing it. You might not be sure if you should share it, because it feels very sacred as well. What are my subconscious beliefs? What do I hold deep inside of me when it comes to intimacy and love? And my worth, how is my worth connected to it? This is a time to confront those. And again, this might not feel easy, and it might not come easy. And you might be confronted from the outside, right? Saturn is in the 12th house, but remember this, the 12th house reflects the 6th house. So maybe your day-to-day is confronting you with these themes, your colleagues, your workplace. And then I mentioned this already, a strong need for a deeper spiritual connection, a deeper spiritual love may arise within you. And you might still keep that to yourself, right? You might keep it private, but you understand that this is what you need now, this is what you want now in relationships. Like, there needs to be more depth. There needs to also be this connection to the other side. It's not just the 3D. Like, it's going beyond the 3D, also in love. This is also a really strong time for behind-the-scene healing. There might be these annoying health issues show up, and you're like, why does this always show up? What is this? What does it want to tell me? How is it connected to my nervous system? You know, there's like, it's a nervous system healing comes in as well. And there might be deep spiritual conversations about all these topics, like self-worth, what I desire, what do I believe I can have, can I have this deeper spiritual love that I so desire? Last one I want to say here, maybe there could be an understanding of your patterns or patterns that you have regarding unavailable love within yourself, but also, you know, that you're then attracting unavailable love. Then Taurus rising. For you, the transit is in the 11th house. And the themes here are a soul-aligned community, soul-aligned friendships, right? Really deep friendships that go beyond this physical, you know, I help you, you help me understanding. But then also your long-term hopes and dreams. So you may feel called to build more meaningful relationships, right? Also within a more meaningful community rather than shallow social ties and, you know, surface level kind of understanding of friendship. Also, like romantic love could start as a friendship, right? Or your understanding of, okay, well, I have these friendships and they may turn into something more now that I understand myself better. Or also now that I realign my values. You might want to attract romantic relationships that have a very deep friendship bond as well. And that where there also is a shared vision. Remember, this is a very visionary place, the 11th house. It's like sharing your vision for life. There could also be financial gains through group ventures. But again, because we have Saturn here, and Saturn says, have you earned it? But it's not that earning where we think, oh, we have to work hard and we have to pay our dues in the outer world. And it's more that understanding of, have I aligned internally? Have I done my inner work? Am I the person that is attracting Venus, that whatever it is, gain, financial gain, or like a certain recognition in my friendship circle? Am I actually that person internally to attract that in? Because we always look at Saturn as doing work in the physical world, but what if Saturn actually says, have you done your inner work? I've really started looking at Saturn this way a few years ago, and it has completely shifted my whole understanding of that Saturnian energy. Maybe you're also planning some ventures that can then lead to financial gain with your friends. And they are slow but steady, right? Saturn, slow but steady. You might also redefine your vision for the future, or you might have done that through that Venus retrograde. And now through that Venus retrograde and also Saturn being here, there might be a restructuring of your vision for the future. There might be a more, I don't want to say serious, but grounded approach to that vision. Again, steady for the win, right? We're going to be steady, going to be slow, but we'll get there. Last thing I want to mention here is like real connections, quote unquote real connections, right? Like not that superficial stuff, not just like connections for the sake of connecting, but real connection that could also come online, right? Could be online connection where you feel a deep sense of understanding between you and that person on the other side. Then Gemini rising, 10th house, we are talking about career, your public image, your accomplishments in life, climbing the ladder, but also not just climbing any ladder, climbing the ladder that is aligned with you. And Venus probably helped you really looking at this. What is aligned with you? What are your true desires? And are you bringing them forth in your work, in your professional life, in your purpose? Do you feel purposeful in what you do? Like also the themes of love and money, the intersection between love and money in your work. Do you love what you do? And does it make you money? And does it further your career? That connection. And we could look at it from a lot of different angles, right? Money here, love here, furthering of the career here, or, you know, they could be connecting in different ways, but are they connecting? There's also this possibility of a work romance. It's a beautiful time, something that becomes more steady now, meeting someone in a work setting. And, it might be slow, very slow, but it could be very steady. Not true for everyone, of course, but this is an energy that is floating through you at the moment. Like literally, it's floating through you. Then, what I also see with this transit is that your public reputation could be tested, but also elevated through discipline and new responsibilities. You may also have already attracted older partners, and that could be partners just in business, right? That you have a business connection with, but this could also be partners that you then romantically linked with. All in all, I would say this is a time to build real value. Again, authentic, what is true for you, like coming from you. That's what real means. It comes from you. It's not coming from some idea someone else gave you and said, oh, this is right. No, what is right for you? What is resonating, right? It needs to resonate. And also understanding and trusting your value, the value that you bring to the world. Are you trusting that? Are you trusting that you bring value to the world and building up on that? Then Cancer rising, this is a 9th house transit for you. And we are talking higher learning, belief system, adventure, travel. Also on a broader scale, philosophy, ideas and ideals. With Pisces here, these ideals are usually connected to the other side more, right? Like sourcing from the infinite. So if you look at it from the perspective of love might involve distance. So maybe there's a long distance relationship, there's a partner or someone that you desire or desires you from a different place. Maybe they live in your country now, but maybe they are from a different country, different cultures, different philosophical beliefs, different religious beliefs as well. A big theme here is maturing in your worldview. Yeah, like you are maturing in your worldview. You're really starting to embody this maturity as well. It is not just a mental exercise. Remember, it's a trine between your sign and the 9th house. So this is it feels very connected. It feels very flowy. It feels very easy. It feels very natural. It is a beautiful time also for like studying things that interest you. Like I already said, philosophy. It could also be politics. For some of you, maybe your political beliefs have shifted and changed drastically as well over the last year. And then particularly in the last month with Venus retrograde, right? You reevaluate what is true for you and what is aligned. And when it comes to idealizing love, I think Saturn gonna bring some grounding in here, right? Saturn is grounding. I love this connection between Saturn and Venus, really, because if we are authentic, if we're living, if we're true to ourselves and we are honest about our feelings, then Saturn can really help us ground that love in. And we do need that grounding for a lasting connection. And then Leo rising, 8th house transits, we are talking about intimacy, deep intimacy, trust, shared resources, and then through that transformation. I think there might be major lessons around emotional vulnerability during this time. Also sexual intimacy. I think this month is going to take you on a roller coaster ride in the bedroom, maybe also outside the bedroom, but I think you gain a new understanding of what intimacy means to you. Also with a partner, right? That exchange in the bedroom is going to feel very profound, but it's also you're going to see that it needs to be grounded in, and how beautiful it can feel when it is grounded. When you're sourcing from the infinite world and that Piscean beauty, but you ground it into this world. Saturn helps us bring it into this world. There might also be a theme of joint finances, financial investments, restructuring your investments, restructuring debt, restructuring, I don't know, maybe there's an inheritance that is, or the theme of inheritance is a topic here. Taxes might be a topic, looking at taxes, looking at how to restructure your finances so that maybe you pay less taxes. I think this is going to be a big theme. I have to say, I have a lot of Leo rising friends, also Leo suns. This has become a big theme for them already throughout that Venus cycle. And also with Saturn here, right? Saturn in this area. Saturn wants to restructure, find better ways, find more aligned ways and then also ground things into this world. Then, of course, love. We already talked about it when we talked about intimacy here. There might be a huge opportunity for you here to align or realign a love to feel more safe. You know, if love felt obsessive or unsafe, I think there's a big opportunity here to realign that and to bring in some boundaries, also self-respect, and ground it into reality, making it physical instead of just like otherworldly. Because with Pisces here, there is this component of otherworldliness and not fully understanding it and being a little confused by it, but also loving it because it feels so amazing. But it is confusing and I don't see clearly. But Saturn says, okay, let's ground it in. Let's make those dreams a reality. And the last theme I want to discuss here is the theme of abandonment. Healing wounds of abandonment, I think I termed it in my blog post. And also themes of betrayal and healing. That healing, you know, maybe you've been hurt in the past. Maybe you've been hurt in your childhood in that way. Maybe not intentionally, but you know, you're carrying these abandonment wounds. And there is this beautiful chance to maybe connect with someone that can help you see yourself clear. Remember, the other is always a mirror and can help you see that through emotional vulnerability and also deeper intimacy, you can realign that and you can ground that, and you don't have to carry that abandonment wound. And that also comes through and with emotional maturity. That is what this transit is going to bring you. Then Virgo rising for you, this is 7th house transit. We are in this together, my loves. This is a big one for relationships, and this can be a romantic relationship or multiple romantic relationships depending on what's going on in your life, but also business partnerships, friendships. This is one-on-one. What's going on there? Like, are you in your worth in your one-on-one relationships? This is a beautiful time for long-term commitment. I mean, I think for you, this is the relationship transit for the year, probably for the coming years. This is a time where you really are looking at, well, we make it or break it, right? Is this the mountain we die on, or is this the mountain we conquer? And I know this sounds dramatic, but it is like, can we find realignment? Can we ground our love into something real where we both feel seen and heard and connected? It's like you fully understanding what type of love you truly want and need and desire, and what you want to take forward, what you want to ground in. And then also understanding what you no longer settle for, what you no longer want, what you no longer accept. So relationship may feel very serious, also otherworldly still, because we are in Pisces here and Venus is here and Mercury is here and the North Node is here, but Saturn is also here, and Saturn makes it more serious. Let's like, what does it even mean for us, serious relationships, right? What does it mean for you? What does it mean for the other? And there might also be it might be a really slow process, and you're like, oh, why is this so slow? Why is it so slow? Why can't this be a little faster? But there's the beauty here, slow and steady for the win. You're really building something lasting here for yourself, by yourself, or with a partner, right? Both. You're laying the foundation. If you're single right now, you're laying a foundation now. If you're in a relationship and you want to take this relationship to the next level, this is the time. This is the time. It's such a beautiful time for you guys to really work on that, work on yourself, and then through that align the relationship, or realize that we're just not on the same page when it comes to living life and when it comes to living relationships. If you're single also, an option here is that you're meeting someone much older, much more mature than you, mature as in age, and that you're starting a new relationship, a new bond. And again, if you are partnered up, this is a beautiful time to build something so strong, something so connected that you can build a skyscraper on it later on, right? You're building that strong foundation. And it doesn't have to be romantic, right? It could be with a friend, it could be with a business partner, but it is a make it or break it kind of situation where you have to be authentic and honest. You have to be honest with yourself. Is this true for you? Are you still giving yourself up? Are you giving your core values? In relationship, we will always dance, right? There's always this dance where, you know, we give a little, the other gives a little, and there's this beautiful dance. And then at some point we have a repertoire of dances and we dance different dances together, but there's always a give and take. But you never want to give up your core values, because that is a recipe for disaster for you and the other. No one is going to be happy with that. So, I mean, I could talk about the 7th house forever, but let's end it here. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.